everybody. Here we are sharing some other experience from religious life, and we have here Sister Maura from the Vincentian family. Welcome, Sister Maura, and we need to know a little bit more about your experience. So we are willing to know more about you.
Well, thank you for asking me.
All right. The first question is, why did you came to the religious life?
I went to public school my whole life long, and after high school, I got a job, and it was my intent to work until I got married. And in 1961, I went to work at Kearney Hospital in Boston, and for the first time in my life, I met a daughter of charity. I had never met a sister before that at all. So after working there, I worked as a secretary for 2 years, and after, I guess it was maybe a year into my working there, I began to just really think seriously about like who these women were and what they did, and I was very attracted to them as individuals. They were a wonderful group of sisters. There were three of them that I worked with. And after about a year, I started thinking seriously about religious life, which had never, ever entered my mind before that. I had a boyfriend. I was thinking seriously about getting married. But it all kind of, and I prayed a lot that I would know what to do, that I would know where God was calling me. So after 2 years there at Kearney, I decided to make the leap, and I applied to the Daughters of Charity.
Cool, very interesting. Wow. And what attracted you the most in becoming a religious sister?
I think the thing that attracted me the most to the Daughters, which was the only community that I really knew, was their spirit of prayer and their commitment to community living. They included me in their prayer life as a secretary, like every hour on the hour, the clock would chime, and we used to say this prayer together, live Jesus forever in our hearts, and we would go on and on. So one day, Sister Oliva, who was incidentally the vocation director of my work, she just said to me one day, well, just remind me to give you an application someday. So I thought, well, this is a sign from God. But what really attracted to me to them was their spirit, their commitment to each other, and their prayer life.
Very good. And what would be the advice that you would give to a young woman who is thinking about religious life? What would you say to them?
I would say this. Pay attention to the way that God is attracting you to religious life. At some point in time, God planted a seed in my heart, and I went to daily mass, and I prayed sincerely that I would know what God wanted me to do. I didn't have a clear road path. It was a big leap of faith, but I felt that God was inviting me to take the next step. So I did that. I took the next step. But I think probably the best advice I could give to anyone thinking about religious life is pray to the Holy Spirit for enlightenment. Because that seed, that invitation that God is extending to you, you need to pay attention to it. It may not mean that you have all the answers, you may not know what the next step might bring, but it's all about following the path that God is inviting us to follow every day.
As you have been our music teacher, have been teaching us how to sing, which has been a good experience. Now, what would you say to us? We are in this discernment time. What would be your encouragement or your advice for us at this time?
Well, first of all, I love coming here every week
Thank
to
you.
be with all of you. And the advice that I would give you, or the encouragement that I would give you, is to somehow, at some point in time, you decided to come here. That is a huge step. But as you go to school and live together in community and pray together, the advice that I would give is to continue to pray for God's guidance, to pay attention to the ways that you experience God in your life here together at the Miraculous Mental House. Because every day God is inviting you to look more deeply at this call to possibly follow a vocation in the Vincentian family. The Vincentians are committed to service of the poor. Like, how does that fit with your own deep desire to be a person of service? And the only way you'll know the answer to that is to continue to pray, to get spiritual direction, to attend Holy Eucharist each day, and ask enlightenment and guidance from God.
Thank you very much, sister. And we know that there is a lot more that we have to know, but hopefully this, what you have been sharing with us, is gonna impact people, and especially the young women who want to have an experience in the religious life. They should not be afraid of taking this step.
Take the plunge.
Yeah, thank you so much, sister.
Thank you, Louise.
Is it I, Lord? I have